In this tutorial, I am going to show you what are array functions. In PHP, there are many array functions. These functions are actually built-in functions. You will have to use those functions as they defined it. You see that there is a count function. I am going to show every function step by step that are very important. One is count function. What does this do? The count functions actually counts the number of elements in an array. For example, I have an array. These are the elements of this array. Okay. So I want to know how many elements are into this array. So I will put the array into the count functions parameter and I will try to get the number. So how many elements are here? It will show me in the output. So refresh, you see that there are total 12 elements into this array. So this is the function that count function does. Now I am going to use another function, that is vardim. It is used to display the structured information about one or more variables. It shows the type and value of the variable. It is used for debugging purposes. If there is any error, then in order to show what are the information into variable or into an array, in order to show those, you have to use the vardim. For example, in this array, I can use the vardim. Here I am going to show vardim, and here I pass the array. What it will show you on the screen, I am going to refresh. You see that the type of the variable it is showing you. So the array has total 12 elements. You see that the first element has index 0 and there is a value 12 which is an integer type value, and the second element is integer type value, that is 34, there is 1. If I now pass here something like this is an string value. So if I now refresh, you will see that the first value is integer, the second value is a string, length is 6 and the value is kulna, but this is a string. The third value is index 2 and this is integer type and it has the value 34. In this way it is returning you the total elements with that type. So this is very useful. In practical example, when you will go to do the project, you will see that I will show you that if I make any live project, there I use it many times. After vardim, there is another function, that is print underscore r. It is used to display the contents of variable in a human readable format. You see that the vardim actually print everything in one line. So this is actually very hard to read this format. In order to do that, what we can do, we can use here the printer. So here I am going to give print underscore r. Now I am going to refresh. You will see that this is more readable format. Okay, so this is the index 12. In short, it gives me all the information about the array. Here is another system, that is in the printer. If I want to make it more readable, just use a pre in the beginning. This is a pre tag, and in the end use end pre tag. Now I am going to refresh. You will see that now it looks in a very good format. Okay. So I hope you have understood the use of these functions. Now another important function is in array. In array means I want to search something into an array, if an element is into an array or not. For example, this is an array. I want to search an element. So if I get the element, then it will return 1, otherwise it will return false. So I am going to check echo and I will search. Here is 2 parameters. The first parameter is which one you will search. Second parameter is into which array you will search. That means array. So array name I will give as a second parameter. First parameter I will search, for example, 67. So this 67 I am going to search into this array, refresh, you'll see that 1. That means it has got the value, so it is returning true. That means the value is 1 boolean. Now if I give something that is not here, now if I go to refresh, you will see that nothing comes. You can easily show it using another, that is var dump. Now I am going to check, you see that it is false. And if I give something that is there, for example this one, you will see that this is true, boolean true. So this is very useful function in array. Then next I am going to check the maximum values of an array. In order to get the maximum value, I am going to I am going to remove the string, because these are integers. Integer has maximum value, but a string cannot have the maximum value. So in order to get maximum value in array, I will use a max function. So echo max function of array. Now which value is maximum here? Refresh, you see that 99 is the maximum value here. You see this is the maximum. Another one is minimum value. So here you can easily use the min function in order to get the minimum value of an array. So now let's check. You see that 12 is the minimum value. Okay, so it is working. Now let's go to another one. I am going to the second page. Here is a array unique function. This is actually very useful. You see that in this array there are multiple values, same values multiple times. That means 12 two times, 12 another times, 45 is one time, two time, third time. I remove one, two time, and 34 one time, others are one time. So if I want to check only the unique elements of this array, I will use array unique, and here I will pass the parameter arr. I am going to show it into a human readable good format. So how I will show that? I am going to show you this array unique. After making the array unique, I am going to put it into a new array. So new array equal to array unique. This new array I am going to show here. Now let's check, refresh. You see that only the normal values, the duplicate values are removed. 12, 34, 45, 67, 78, 89. You see that there is no duplicate values. This is the function of the array unique. There is another function, array values. It actually, what will do, actually it will show all the contents of an array, but the key are re-indexed. It is very important. If you use the array unique, you see that there is a problem here. That is, it gets the key 1, 0, 1. In the index 2, it got another 12. So it just skipped this one, because I will take only one value one time. So when it sees there is 12 another time here in the third position, so it just skips. But when it skips, it also skips the index. You see that the number 2 index is also skipped. So index are coming 0, 1, 3, 2 is missed, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 items are missed, then 10. In order to re-indexing this, I am going to use another value, that is the total array unique. I will put into a array values function here. Now array values of array unique of array. So in this array you will see that the keys will be re-indexed. I am going to refresh. You see that the keys are re-indexed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can now work with this array. This is also very useful in the practical. I am just going to show you how it works. Then the next function is explode and implode. These are very important functions. Explode, it is used to split a string into an array using a specific delimiter. So let's let's check it. For example, I have a string and I will get all the elements of the string and put it into an array. This is very useful. For example, I am going to get date of birth. For example, a person's date of birth is 2002, then 02, then 24. What I can do, I can easily split this information from here. Another process that I have shown you in the string functions, that was substr, right? Substr. Using the substr, what I called, I had to get the index number 0, 1, 2, 3. So I used the string, for example, date of birth, then put 0, then put 4 items. In this way, I split the items, this one, and this one. But if I use the explode function, this is very easy. In the explode, I will tell you here that I will split by this symbol. You see that here are this symbol dash inside, so I can easily explode it by this symbol, and second parameter I will give the string, so it is converted into an array. So if I call arr equal to this date of birth already have been parted into an array. I am going to show you. I am going to echo this one, you will understand. Now this array I am going to show. Refresh, you see that in the array index 0, the year comes 1, 02 comes 2, 24 comes. So this will take, it will split the complete string by dash and make each part into an index of the array. Now I hope you have understood how the explode function works. Then the next one is implode. It is used to join an array of strings into a single string using a specified delimiter. So I am going to show you. For example, I have an array. This has some country name, Bangladesh, then Khulna, Bangladesh, Canada, then USA. There are total 3 countries into an array. Now I will use implode function. The explode function separated a string and converted an array, but here this will implode is just reverse. That means it will take the array elements and it will convert it to a string. So I am going to give a variable str equal to, here I also use 2 parameter. One is array and another one is based on which it will add it into a string. I can use the symbol comma, then what will be the output? Let's check. Str will be a simple string. This is a simple string where I use comma. I can use comma space here, then the output will be like this. I can use anything here, for example dash I can use here, then output will be like this. I can use this one here, then the output will be like this. So in this way the implode function works. Now there is another one. There are some sorting functions. In order to sort an array, for example, I have the array elements. I am going to copy and paste it here. For example, I have some array elements like this. I want to sort it. So just use the sort and put array as parameter. You will see that the array will be sorted. Here actually, as it is an array, we have to use it in a good format. So I am going to use this format, and here I am going to call the sort of array into here as a printer. So let's check 11. Actually the sort means this will be sorted. I will print array, but here function will be sort like this. No value will be assigned. Actually I will straight use the sort function and it will be sorted. Then I will just print the output of the array. So you see that the array has been changed, and here it is sort from small to from minimum to maximum values. It is sorted. You see that 12, 12, 34. Okay, So from the small number to the big number, it is sorted. I can use instead of sort, I can use the R sort, like this, R sort. So R sort means it will be in the reverse sort. That means from maximum, from the biggest number, it is going to the smallest number. So array values has been sorted. There are some other things, that is A sort. It is sort an associative array in ascending order according to the value. You see that this is actually not ascending, this is not actually the associative array, but if I now want to use an array that is associative array, then how it will sort? For example, I have an associative array. I am going to give here the name for example, which country has which number of cities. The Bangladesh has, for example, 64. Any type of data, for example, USA has 345 cities, for example, just it has numbered this. Now if I use the A sort, what will happen? A sort ARR. Okay, now if you refresh, you will see that it is sorted by which it is telling that the sort associative array is in ascending order according to the value. Here 64 is the minimum, so it comes first, then comes this one, then comes this one. Keys are also the same order, so I am going to do one thing, that is B is a small u, C, B, C, U. Here I do one thing, 105, and here I increment this 300, 100. Okay, now let's check the 64, which value is minimum, it comes first, then 100, then 300. So based on the value, it is sorted. Okay, and K sort is it will sort it ascending order according to the key. So here if I use the K sort, what will happen? The output will be according to the key. The B, which start with B, comes first because in the alphabet B is smaller, B, C, U. In this order now it is sorted. So this is actually K sort. The other two sorts are for the reverse order. For example, A R sort. So simply it will come from the maximum to minimum, A R sort. So it will be sorted according to values, but which value is biggest, that will come first, 300, 100, 64. Okay, and another one is KR sort. So here I give KR sort. It will sort by keys, but from you see that in the alphabetic order, U is to the last, so U come first, U, C, and then B. So based on the key, it is sorted as reverse. So these are in short the array functions we mostly use. I have shown you some, but there are a lot of functions. There is a reference. You can just copy this link, and in your browser you can see what are the other array functions. Here is a complete list of array functions that are used in PHP in various purposes. You can check this list and practice if you want.